There are fighter jets, and then there is the F-22 Raptor, a machine so advanced, so dominant, and so far ahead of its time that even years after its first flight, nations across the world still measure themselves against it. When America unveiled the F-22, it was more than the arrival of a new aircraft. It was a warning to every rival power on Earth. The United States was not slowing down. It was not falling behind. It was not surrendering control of the skies. Instead, America had done what it has done at its greatest moments in history. When challenged, it responded by building something the rest of the world could only admire from a distance. The F-22 was not created to compete. It was created to dominate. And for millions of Americans, it became a symbol of national strength, technological genius, and the unshakable belief that when the United States decides to lead, nobody does it better. From the earliest days of aviation, air superiority has meant power. Whoever controls the skies controls movement, controls strategy, and often controls the outcome of war itself. America understood this long before many others did. Through the 20th century, the United States built a legacy in military aviation that changed history forever. From the bomber fleets of World War II to the carrier aircraft that projected strength across oceans, from Cold War interceptors to precision strike platforms, generation after generation proved that American innovation could reshape the battlefield. But the F-22 represented something different. It was not simply the next step in that legacy. It was the moment that legacy reached a new level. During the final decades of the Cold War, military planners knew the future would demand more than speed or firepower alone. Enemy radar systems were improving. Missile technology was advancing. Rival air forces were becoming more sophisticated. Winning tomorrow's battles will require something far greater than numerical strength. It will require intelligence, stealth, precision, survivability, and overwhelming control of the engagement from the very first second. So America did what only nations with true industrial and scientific depth can do. It imagined the future before anyone else and then built it. That vision became the F-22 Raptor. From the outside, it looked like something from another century. Sharp lines, aggressive angles, flawless surfaces, and a silhouette that seemed engineered not just for speed but for intimidation. Every curve and every edge served a purpose. Nothing was decorative. Nothing was accidental. This aircraft was sculpted by mathematics, tested by the highest standards, and refined by some of the best aerospace minds in the world. It was a machine born from precision, discipline, and ambition. The kind of ambition that has defined American greatness for generations. But the true power of the F-22 was not just what people could see. It was what enemies could not see. The Raptor entered the skies with stealth capabilities that changed the psychology of aerial warfare. In combat, detection often decides survival. To see first is to strike first. To remain unseen is to force fear into every opponent searching empty skies. The F-22 was built to exploit that truth completely. While adversaries scanned radar screens hoping for answers, the Raptor could already be there, already watching, already deciding the outcome before the enemy even knew the contest had begun. That kind of advantage is not merely tactical. It is psychological supremacy. Imagine being a pilot tasked with defending your nation's airspace and knowing that somewhere above you may be an aircraft you can barely detect, flown by one of the most highly trained forces on Earth, supported by systems more advanced than anything you possess. Imagine knowing that by the time you realize the threat is real, it may already be too late. That is the reputation the F-22 built. It was not simply respected because it was American-made. It was respected because it represented a level of capability few could challenge and many could only study. Then there was its speed. Many jets can move fast, but raw speed means little without control, efficiency, and purpose. The F-22 was engineered to do far more than rush through the sky. It could sustain extraordinary performance while remaining lethal, agile, and tactically effective. It could close distances rapidly, intercept threats with urgency, reposition before opponents could react, and maintain the initiative throughout the engagement. In warfare, timing is everything, and the Raptor gave America the ability to dictate timing on its own terms. It could arrive first, react first, strike first, and leave others struggling to catch up. Yet, perhaps the most breathtaking feature of all was how the aircraft moved. The F-22 did not merely turn or climb. It seemed to command the air itself. Demonstrations of its maneuverability stunned audiences around the world. Sudden directional changes, dramatic climbs, tight rotations, and smooth recoveries made the aircraft appear almost unreal. For spectators, it was thrilling. For rivals, it was unsettling. Because every impossible maneuver was a reminder that this was not just another fighter jet. This was a machine designed to outperform expectations and overwhelm assumptions. For American pilots, the F-22 offered something priceless: confidence. In the sky, confidence is born when a pilot trusts the machine beneath them completely. Trust in its engines, trust in its controls, trust in its sensors, trust in its ability to respond instantly under pressure. The Raptor became famous for providing that trust at the highest level. It fused pilot skill with technological superiority, turning elite training into even greater advantage. When highly capable people are given world-class tools, extraordinary results often follow. America understood that truth, and the F-22 embodied it perfectly. The aircraft also represented the best of the American system itself. No nation creates something like the F-22 through luck. It requires engineers willing to solve impossible problems, workers capable of unmatched manufacturing standards, test crews willing to push limits, strategists able to think decades ahead, and a national culture that still values excellence. The Raptor was not just built in factories. It was built through discipline, education, sacrifice, and the confidence to pursue greatness. In many ways, it became a flying symbol of what the United States can achieve when talent, industry, and purpose move in the same direction. That is one reason the F-22 inspires such pride among Americans. It reminds people of an era when the nation openly aimed to be the best and then proved it could get there. It recalls the same spirit that built victory fleets during World War II, sent astronauts to the moon, and created technologies that reshaped modern life. The Raptor belongs in that lineage. It is one more chapter in the long story of a country that repeatedly answered challenges not with hesitation, but with innovation. There is also power in its exclusivity. The F-22 was never ordinary, never common, never available to everyone. It remained rare, elite, and uniquely American. That rarity only strengthened its mystique. Around the world, analysts debated it, competitors studied it, allies admired it, and aviation enthusiasts celebrated it. But ownership of such a machine remained tied to the United States. It became one of those rare symbols that quietly reminded the world that some capabilities cannot simply be copied. They must be earned through generations of expertise. Even as new aircraft emerged in later years, the F-22 never lost its aura. Many machines shine brightly for a moment and then fade into history. The Raptor endured. It remained the benchmark in countless discussions about air superiority. It continued to command respect from experts and fascination from the public. That lasting relevance says everything. In a field where technology ages quickly, only truly exceptional designs remain admired decade after decade. The F-22 did exactly that. Its influence extended beyond engineering circles and military analysis. It entered popular culture as a symbol of elite performance. Whenever Americans saw the Raptor on screen at air shows or in documentaries, it triggered something deeper than curiosity. It stirred pride. It reminded people that the United States still possessed the ability to create machines that inspired awe around the world. In an age where many doubted whether true greatness could still be built, the F-22 stood as undeniable proof. There was also a strategic message hidden within the aircraft's existence. America did not need to boast endlessly about power when it could demonstrate it through capability. The F-22 represented quiet confidence. It was not loud rhetoric. It was not empty symbolism. It was substance. It was the type of strength that forces adversaries to rethink aggression before it begins. Sometimes the most effective deterrent is not a speech or a threat, but the knowledge that one side possesses tools far beyond what the other can counter. That matters because real strength often prevents conflict. History has shown that wars are less likely when opponents understand the cost of confrontation. The F-22 became part of that calculation. It signaled readiness, preparedness, and overwhelming technological sophistication. It reminded the world that the United States was still capable of defending its interests with systems operating at the highest level. For younger generations of Americans, the Raptor became an icon of modern excellence. For older generations, it connected to memories of earlier eras when American engineering repeatedly led the world. They created a bridge between past and present, the same nation that built the industrial miracle of World War II, the moon missions of the 1960s, and the digital revolutions of later decades had also built one of the most respected fighter aircraft ever made. That continuity is powerful because it reinforces a national identity centered on capability, resilience, and innovation. There is something emotional about seeing a machine that embodies years of sacrifice and effort rise into the sky. Thousands of workers, technicians, pilots, mechanics, planners, and engineers all contributed to the Raptor story. Behind every takeoff lies countless hours of labor. Behind every flawless maneuver lies years of training.
Behind every polished surface lies a culture that refused to accept mediocrity. The F-22, therefore, represents more than metal and fuel. It represents people at their best. And perhaps that is why it still captures attention so effortlessly. The moment footage of the Raptor appears, people stop scrolling. They watch the climb. They watch the turn. They watch the speed. They watch because excellence is magnetic. Human beings recognize greatness when they see it. And the F-22 carries the visual signature of greatness. The name itself was perfect. Raptor, a predator. Fast, intelligent, precise, dominant. It reflected the mission exactly. This aircraft was never intended to simply participate in the skies. It was built to own them. That kind of clarity is powerful. It sends a message to allies, to rivals, and to citizens at home that American strength is not based on words alone. It is backed by capability. Even today, when new technologies emerge and future aircraft are discussed, the F-22 remains central to the conversation. That alone is remarkable. In a field where relevance can vanish quickly, the Raptor continues to be spoken of with seriousness and respect. It remains a standard others are measured against. That is the difference between a successful aircraft and a legendary one. Success performs in its time. A legend defines time itself. For many Americans, the F-22 also symbolizes a mindset worth remembering. Aim high, build boldly, and refuse to settle for second place. It reflects confidence in national potential. It reflects belief in skilled workers and brilliant minds. It reflects the understanding that leadership is earned through effort, not inherited automatically. These values reach far beyond aviation. They speak to the broader American story. In the end, the F-22 Raptor still stands as one of the proudest symbols of American air power ever created. It was the result of vision, sacrifice, and relentless pursuit of excellence. It proved that when the United States commits itself fully, the result can surpass imagination. It reminded the world that American leadership in technology was not history. It was alive, roaring overhead, faster than fear and sharper than doubt. And even now, years later, one truth remains impossible to ignore. When America built the F-22, it did not just build a fighter jet. It built a legend.